NBC Sports, home of the Olympic Games, Premier League, the PGA Tour, the NASCAR playoffs, and Primetime's #1 show, Sunday Night Football, only on NBC.
Tonight, the NFL's 100th season kicks off with the Packers and the Bears at Soldier Field. 100 years of the NFL, 100 years of America's game. Guys, I don't mean to be a pain in the butt, but why do you want me talking about 100 seasons? I'm old, but I ain't that old. Let me call a friend. Maybe she can help.
Hi, Brett. How are you? Well, yeah, 100 seasons. Of course I know. And I remember them all. It's like a movie that plays in my head. Sid Luckman, Otto Graham, Jim Brown, Paul Brown, Bart Starr, Vince Lombardi, Joe Willie's Guarantee, The Steel Curtain, America's Team, the Monsters of the Midway,
throws into the end zone, touchdown!
The Catch, The Helicopter. Sorry about that one, sweetie. But Brady and Belichick, you and your friend Aaron, that nice boy Peyton, it's all just gone by in a flash. 100 years of football. And today, the game looks better than ever. So let's get it on already.
Well, the same can be said of 97-year-old Betty White's hometown. A spectacular night along the lakefront in Chicago, where thousands are filling Grant Park to start the party, which continues here at venerable Soldier Field. And Coach Matt Nagy of Chicago arriving with a sartorial homage to George Halas. Speaking of Hall of Famers, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are in town as the NFL's most played rivalry kicks off NFL Season 100. Welcome to Soldier Field and welcome back to NFL football. Glad you're with us for the NFL kickoff. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison. Tony, 42 of the 100 seasons. Rodney, 26 of the NFL's 100 seasons as coach, player, broadcaster. All of us, no matter how long we've been around the league, excited for Packers-Bears for the 199th time. Fitting this rivalry kicks off the centennial season.
It really is, Mike. For me, growing up in Detroit, watching the Lions with my dad, it always meant watching those Lombardi Packers. And then when I was 10 years old, Gale Sayers and Dick Butkus, rookies for the Bears. So I've watched these guys for a long time.
I love the 85 Bears, and Walter Payton was my favorite player. And I know you remember this. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here for the Super Bowl shuffle. Coach, I've heard that song 1,000 times. Every time I come to Chicago, I hear that song, but it's nice to be back, Mike.
All right, is this the year for a remake? The Bears are 12-4. They were NFC North champs. Folks in this town think this is a Super Bowl team. Do they have a Super Bowl caliber quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky?
Absolutely. You don't have to be an all-pro in order to win a Super Bowl, Mike. I think they've done a wonderful job building that foundation around them. Good offensive line, really good skill guys, and a great defense, Coach.
But there is one thing, walking around here yesterday and around the stadium today, everybody, every fan is, if our quarterback is okay, we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's a lot of pressure on him. His coach, Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, told me he's talked to him all summer. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
I had a quick chance to talk to a handful of their players, and they all told me that Mitchell Trubisky is a gamer, and they trust and believe in him.
We've got a young head coach. Matt Nagy's in his second year. The Packers start the season with a new head coach for the first time since 2006, former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur, who spoke with Liam McHugh a short time ago.
Matt, you're 39 years old. You're about to make your head coaching debut. It's Packers, Bears, the kickoff the 100th season in the NFL. What went through your mind when you woke up this morning?
Just getting ready to play a tough football game against a really quality opponent, and that's our focus.
A lot has been made about blending your offensive philosophy with that of Aaron Rodgers. What do you think the partnership is capable of?
You know what? I'm not going to make any predictions, but I really enjoy working with him on a daily basis. Obviously, he's really talented, but he's a really knowledgeable guy as well, and it's been a lot of fun.
Matt, thanks so much.
Thank you.
For more on the Packers, let's go to Mike Florio and Chris Sims.
Thank you, Liam. You know, Chris, Aaron Rodgers has been the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers since 2008. This is the first time he's got a new head coach or a new offense, and we don't know what to expect because we didn't see him at all in the preseason.
No, we have no idea. Nonetheless, I'm excited. The offense needed a new look, needed a new scheme. Now, when it comes to Matt LaFleur, there's question marks. Certainly, he's going to have to prove himself that he was worthy of the job. Last year was towards the bottom of football in offense as far as the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. He's going to have to answer those questions, but nonetheless, Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, going to have a new look on offense that I'm pumped about.
All right, over to you, Mike.
It's part of the reason the energy is so high here and just north of the stadium at a city centerpiece proudly referred to as Chicago's front yard. That's where we find our Catherine Tappett.
The celebration began earlier today as fans have packed Grant Park. And here now to help us kick off the NFL's 100th season with her smash new hit, With You, please welcome Grammy Award-winning superstar Meghan Trainor.
Am I the only one who's been mistaken? 'Cause you're the only one who keeps me waiting. Do you know how much time I would be saving if I didn't let you into my head, let you into my bed? Oh no, I've done it again. Haven't I been here before? Here before? Oh no, my head on my head. Haven't I been here before? Here before? So stop saying that you're mine. I'ma need a better reason to be spending all my time with you. If you leave me, I'll be fine. I'ma need a better reason to be wasting my time with you. 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 Baby, I know you've been misbehaving. I've been cleaning up the mess that you've been making. Do you know how much time I would be saving if I didn't let you into my head, let you into my bed? Oh no, I've done it again. Haven't I been here before? Oh, my head on my head. Haven't I been here before? Stop saying that you're mine. I'ma need a better reason to be spending all my time with you. You leave me, I'll be fine. I'ma need a better reason to be wasting my time. I'll be wasting my time with you. Come on, wasting my time with you. Stop saying that you're mine. I'ma need a better reason to be spending all my time with you. If you leave me, I'll be fine. I'ma need a better reason to be wasting my time with you. Wasting my time. I'll be wasting my time with you, babe. Wasting my time with you. I'll be wasting my time with you, babe. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Still to come. After a wild card ending they'd rather forget.
The Bears' season's going to end on a double doink.
Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears take center stage once more.
We live for nights like this.
Meanwhile, their NFC North rivals enter a new era. Can Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur lead the Packers back to the playoffs? It's all ahead as the NFL kickoff continues from Chicago.
These teams have been teeing it up since 1921. One of the great rivalries in sports. It's the Bears and the Packers.
Slammed him to the turf. Bears block the kick, getting up the ball. Red bar dives in for the touchdown. Turtles over the right side. It is Green Bay all the way to Super Bowl 45.
Rodgers scrambles left, winds up right. Touchdown!
Rodgers fires. That's caught. Randall Cobb is going to score. That is crazy.
Aaron Rodgers has done it again.
That was the drama of Week 1 last year at Lambeau. Week 1 this year happens here at Soldier Field. So great to see the green and gold of the Packers here in Chicago as we get set to take you on the field live as Chris Sims joins Rodney, Tony, and I. Let's go and talk about some of the key players in the game. And I want to start, Chris, with you and Mitchell Trubisky. This is only his second full year. What's the area you want to see him improve the most?
You know he's a great athlete. We know he can run. I want to see him improve as a pocket passer. Decision-making, accuracy within the pocket. We know that's how football quarterbacks win in this league.
Well, he's going to have to deal with Zadarius Smith. And the first thing that you notice about him is his size. We talked about this. He's a big guy. But the Packers love his versatility. I expect them to put him in different positions on the defensive line and try to create some mismatches, Coach.
And on the Bears defense, the star is Khalil Mack. He can wreck the game from that left outside linebacker position. I am very curious to see how many times the Green Bay offense will leave their right tackle one-on-one. You just cannot afford to do this. Khalil Mack is too good to be single block tonight.
And his pass rush helps the back end, as you know so well, Rodney. And they've got a player good in his own right in Eddie Jackson, the safety.
Yeah, he is tremendous, Mike. And the thing I like about him is his great instincts and his ball skills. He kind of reminds me of Ed Reed and Charles Woodson. He actually told me on the field that he looks up to Patrick Peterson. So I expect him to have a big game tonight.
And who Eddie Jackson will be focused in on is Devontae Adams, big wide receiver for the Packers, big, strong, fast, but he also has that chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. They've got to double him in crucial situations.
Then we got Aaron Jones at running back for the Green Bay Packers. I think as explosive as a running back the Packers have had in quite some time. In the new LaFleur offense, we know it's the Shanahan-McVay run zone scheme. We're going to see a much more run-oriented Packers team. He's going to get the ball a lot tonight.
I love being out of the studio because I can't get your eyes off the field. You guys are looking for advantages. Anybody notice that? Anybody notice anything as you were watching?
I had a chance to talk to the field goal kicker, Eddie Pinero, and I asked him, I said, are you nervous? He said, no. I said, why aren't you nervous? He says, because I have my family here and I have my faith. We'll see what happens.
He's got a lot of eyes on him, too, here tonight.
A ton of eyes. Everybody wants to see how that goes. I saw how big these Green Bay Packers are. Size is definitely something Matt LaFleur has really emphasized.
We're going to have to stop this guy, Khalil Mack. Everybody says he is such a leader. So is that guy, Aaron Rodgers. We haven't seen him for a snap in the preseason. We'll see him coming up. Bears Packers, a half hour to kickoff of the season.
NFL kickoff weekend continues Sunday with Baker, Beckham, and the new-look Browns taking on the Titans. Then, an NFC East showdown as Saquon and the Giants visit Dak and Big D.
Prescott keeps it. Touchdown! So incredible!
Plus, Sunday Night Football is live from Foxborough.
Yes! It's still a dynasty!
Where Tom Brady and the Patriots will raise their 6th Super Bowl banner before hosting Big Ben and the Steelers. And a Monday Night Football doubleheader sees the Texans visit the Saints, followed by the Broncos at the Raiders.
Let's go!
Derek Carr have Antonio Brown coming out of the tunnel with the Raiders star wide receiver. The reports out there in the last 4 hours or so, the team plans to suspend Brown after a verbal confrontation with GM Mike Mayock. It's then when Brown posted the picture of his fine letter from Mayock on Instagram. Brown's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, just spoke with Mike Florio, told him he could not at this point give an answer as to whether or not AB would be in uniform come Monday night. That entire interview is available on NBCSports.com. Meanwhile, Brown's old team, the Steelers, visit the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. The two teams that have won 6 Super Bowls. So, Tony, the Pittsburgh Steelers' middle name this summer has been addition by subtraction. No Bell, no Brown. That sounds good. Is it realistic?
It really is, Mike. They lost 2 great players, but they also lost some big distractions. And you see what's going on in Oakland. That hasn't been visible in Pittsburgh. I think they're going to be better. That's been the Steeler formula for 40 years. Teamwork. I think we're going to see that this year.
Well, speaking of missing pieces for the Patriots, obviously Rob Gronkowski, the great tight end, has retired. But there's another guy missing on offense that you think is just as important?
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski is the big story, but center David Andrews, he's the bigger loss for this team. He's a captain of this team. He's in charge of all the communication at the line of scrimmage, Mike.
that championship moment for the New England Patriots will happen before Sunday Night Football. We'll be there, Football Night in America, 7 Eastern. Undoubtedly on the show, guys, we're going to talk about how many pass interference flags were reviewed via instant replay. Liam, you have more on that.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. It's the 100th season of the NFL, but we're going to talk about something that was not a part of the first 99, and it's courtesy of this play that I'm sure you're all very familiar with. You go back to the NFC title game, Saints, Rams, and now for the first season, pass interference calls and non-calls subject to review. Question is, what should we expect early on here, Mike?
Yeah, you know, we've never crossed this bridge before with judgment calls in the NFL. And one thing to watch is when pass interference is called on the field, highly unlikely that replay review is going to pick up the flag. But when it's not called and it's challenged, clear and obvious evidence of a player significantly hindering an opponent is what will trigger a ruling from replay review that interference happened, Chris.
Yeah, listen, I'm worried about it. I really am. I think we hit the overreaction from a non-call in a really big spot on the big stage, and I'm worried it's going to just open Pandora's box of craziness. Fans criticizing the NFL, players criticizing, guys like me and Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk talking about it, and the story should be about the play on the field in the 100th season.
I'm curious to see how aggressive quarterbacks get when they're trailing in the fourth quarter. These fans, they're not hoping it's not a penalty party here. Speaking of parties, as you may have heard, the NFL has entered a new partnership with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Let's head back to Catherine Tappan to hear from one of their performing artists.
The NFL Kickoff Party is still going strong. Performing now is multi-platinum hip-hop artist and criminal justice reform advocate, Meek Mill.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Chicago! Hands up! Let's go!
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In the matter of time I spent on some locked up in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got showed that she trying to bless me like I said I do. Like put them trigger squeeze, I'm getting cream. Never let them get in between the woo started. Little homie, but I'm lying hearted. They love me when I was stuck and they hated when I departed. I go and get it regardless. Draw it like I'm an artist. McCarlin was straight to walking with foreigns in my good. So foreign women, swallowing anything for $1. They tell me, get him out. I did it without her. I did right. Little homie, I'm on fire. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly hit it on flyer. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was. Then I bought that new Ferrari, hey, to rest in peace. Hey, to rest in peace to the parking lot. Phantom so big, can't even fit in a parking spot. You ain't talking about my hitters, then what you talking about? Gangsters moving, and now, hands up, hands up, put them up, hands up, put them up, go, let's go, go. Hold on, wait a minute, y'all thought I was finished? When I put that ass in mine, y'all thought it was finished? Flexing on these hitters, I'm like Papa on this minute. Double looking in my team, I say the captain on you. I'm the top can, they grind like a bro. That Lambo, my new chick, she'll ride like my clothes. I'm riding around my city with my hands strapped to my toes. Cause these hitters want me dead, then I gotta make it back. Let's go, my mama needs that bill money, my son needs some milk. These haters try to take my life, they mess around, get killed. Cause these Philly hitters I put with me, don't mess around, no joke. No, all I know is murder. When they come down, I got young hitters rolling, I got throwing bees. I done did the deal, I done did the KLV. Every time I'm in the building, I get to throw it. Now I'm hanging out that drop, I'm riding down on Collins. They let my homie earn back home, that young hitter be wildin'. We young hitters, we mobbing, like Batman or with Robin. And this two-door made back with my seat on reclining, I'm like, what's up? What up? If you did me in your rest, I get your stuck up. When you touch down in my hood, no, that's all life ain't good. Got me down in my and that he came on wood. With that puma life in my feet, like that little engine I could. Boy, I slide down to your block. And they be throwing deuces on the same hit and they walk. And I'm the king of my city, cause I'm still calling them shots. And these lanes talking that bull. The same haters they flock. I'm the same haters from Fresh Trippin' on that press that. The same hater that came up and I had to wait for my phone. And these chain on me. I was waiting on. Still on that hood. My Rolls Royce so it ain't going. So much money at your free throw to your neighbor. And when about that rolling with it?
My wrist.
Have you feeling like that, though, boy, with it?
I'm gone.
Maybach music.
Chicago, I go by the name of Big Millie. Make some noise!
NBC's NFL Kickoff Special is brought to you by EA Madden NFL 20. Play for free now through September 8th. By Creamy Snickers. You're not smooth when you're hungry. By Bud Light, reminding you to keep it crisp responsibly. And by Bose, official sound of the NFL.
Chicago, the story in Green Bay, 35-year-old Aaron Rodgers facing the franchise. He is the Packers. His head coach making his debut is only 4 years older at 39. It's become a touchy topic. How much will Aaron ad-lib in this new offense or audible? For the new coach, Tony, it's a tough spot inheriting a generational face of the franchise quarterback.
It really is. You've got to come in as a new coach and implement your system, but you've got to make sure you maximize the strengths of your star quarterback. I had to do that with Peyton Manning. We came to a meeting of the minds, but then Aaron Rodgers, he's got to be on board with it. I was disappointed that Aaron took his displeasure public. I didn't think that was the right thing to do.
Mike, I have doubts about this offense, and really not Aaron Rodgers. I have no doubts about him, but this supporting cast, and in particular the wide receiver position. They have young, inexperienced guys, and I think the big question, Chris, is who's going to be that #2 receiver outside of Devontae Adams to make plays?
Yeah, I hear that. I have all the same concerns you guys have. It's still Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the greatest we've ever seen, and I am excited to see how they utilize his talents in this new offense. I think we're going to see some more play action, some more deep shots down the field, and you know I love watching Rodgers throw it deep.
We all do. I asked the Green Bay offensive coach, what's the offense going to look like? I said, we don't know. We haven't seen it in a game, so they're as intrigued as we are. It'd be one of the most interesting things to watch. It's always intriguing and interesting and exciting watching number 12. Aaron Rodgers against the great Bears defense. It's coming up to kick off season 100 of the NFL.
NBC's NFL Kickoff Special is brought to you by Verizon, America's most reliable network. By Pizza Hut. You can't have football without the Hut. By Microsoft Surface. And by Lowe's, official home improvement sponsor of the NFL.
There's going to be a lot of nostalgia this 100th NFL season, but this may be taking it a bit too far. Sims and Florio in the old school uniforms. Wow. Your PFT Live Christmas card that you hope doesn't show up in your mailbox. Well done. Homage to the Packers and the Bears. Time to take a look at tonight's winners, brought to you by Lowe's. For the picks, Liam gets us going.
All right, before I give you my pick, I'm going to give you America's pick. This is from our Twitter account, SNF at NBC. And America is on the Bears, but it's tight, 54%. My pick, I'm not going to sing the Super Bowl shuffle like Rodney, but I'm taking the Bears.
I'm going with the Bears too, Liam. They're the better team on the field. They're home. It's electric in here. Bears 24-20.
How about a late kick by Eddie Pinheiro, the Bears kicker that double doinks and goes in? Bears win the game. Mike, what's your pick?
I want to pick the Bears, but I want to take the lead in the competition, Green Bay.
Wow, Tony. I'm taking the Bears at home, team in the defense.
I'm taking the Bears at home, 21-17, Mike.
All right, give me one thing to watch for tonight.
These guys have not played a lot of football. How sharp are they going to be in the first quarter? A big mistake could change things.
Two athletic quarterbacks that like to scramble. Which defense can contain that quarterback from making big plays?
Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Let's do it, baby.
This is so much fun to be here in Chicago. The Packers in the tunnel ready to take the field, and we are ready for season 100, a new era for Green Bay. High hopes for Chicago. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, appropriately in wardrobe for the season. They come up and kick off of the season. Thanks for joining us to start NFL season 100 on NBC. Enjoy the game.
Thank you for watching this presentation of NFL Network.